Good afternoon, students. Myself, Dr.Mrs Smita Giri. Today we will deal with the metallic bonding. It's a part of coordination chemistry. In chemistry, you all are well known about the matters are distributed into solid, liquids, and the gases. In solids, they are metals and the non-metals. Metals are those are having the capacity to conduct the electricity, so they can easily flow the electricity. And the non-metals, they do not conduct the electricity. Let us see how that the metallic bonding it is formed in the compound. Metallic bond, they are having the properties that bond formation which is formed by electrons are delocalized among metal atoms. So electrons can move from one place to another as like a steel. If we start to hit it, just the conductivity or that the heat it is passed from one place to another. Then occurs between the metallic bond which occurs between the two metals. So alloys can be formed. Then type of the structure of metal bonds, it is as like a electron C. It is a flow of electrons. So it can move from one place to another. They can conduct the electricity from one place to another. Physical state of metallic bond, it is very solid. Melting point, as they are solid and conduct the electricity, they are having that very high melting point. They do not soluble in water very easily. The conductivity, electrical conductivity, they are having, yes, they do conduct the electricity. And other properties are they are malleable, so they can make a straight. Then ductile, they can make their own wire, and the lustrous, they are having that the its own flashes. See the structure which shown that electrons C. So 3 to 5, that the electrons they are to be showing in the slide, on the slide, and that electrons how they can pass from one place to another. So maybe from upper to below or below to up, that electricity it can flow, and this is nothing but the movement of that electrons which are from one place to another. Secondly, conduction of heat. Listen that electrons are able to gain kinetic energy in hotter areas of the metal and are able to quickly transfer it to other parts of the metal lattice because of their freedom of the movement. So they can, as they are moving, so they can pass easily the electricity. Heat causes the electrons to move, transfer, and the bumping of these electrons with each other, and the protons transfer the heat. Second property, it is conduct electricity. When an electric field is applied to the metal, one end of the metal becomes positive and the other metal becomes negative. Since the electrons are free to move, all the electrons experience a force towards the positive end, and the movement of electrons is an electric conduct, as like a tube light which switch on and the switch off by means of this conductive. Malleable and the ductile. So it can make a sheet or it can make a wire, and they can show that the malleability and the ductility property. Metals are malleable and ductile rather than the brittle as a result of the non-directional nature of the metallic bonds. The attractive forces exerted by the positive metal ions for the mobile electrons occur in all directions. This means that layers of the atoms can move past one another without disrupting the force between the positive ions and the negative C of the electrons. As shown on the slide diagram, see that the malleability and the ductility, how they can make the sheet, they can make that wire by moving that the part of that electrons from one place to another. Mobiles allow atoms to slide by like ball bearing in oil, and the force which is passed to it. Metallic bond, they show that high melting point. The generally high melting points indicate that metallic bonding is quite strong. Metallic points increase with an increase in the number of valence electrons to the C, since there is a greater attractive force between the cations and the electrons which are passed in the metals. Metallic bonding, they show that high density. Most metals have relatively high densities because metallic lattices are closed packed structures, and therefore the structure of metal, electrostatic forces to attraction between the positively charged cations and the negatively charged electrons hold the lattice together, and that's why they are very strong. A metal is therefore seen as a rigid framework of cations immersed in a sea of electrons that serve as the cement holding the three-dimensional cation network together. This is nothing but the metallic bonding. Dear students, this is that the very simple that coordination bond, coordination chemistry and the metallic bond, they are the new era which explains that how that the compounds and the simple drugs they are formed very strong behavior with their structures and with their creativity. Thank you very much. Just do understand, repeat it and practice with it. Thank you very much.